Dr. Mukul Sangma unong yalam kalyang persya yang darbar thawan ke Jylla hakashi thi bola tho bat ai hakti jong ulat ke Jylla CH Vijaya Shankar haka arpwe trik ulber ula Dawa na ulat ban pinlong da Commission of Enquiry halor ke jinge khi bakalang dangshen ha West Garo Hills District kabala shim armut kimin siembrio Dr. Mukul ula penyang nia da kaboong Khubor District kila kemi kibrio halor ke jingken no baki don kti haki company khi pat ba klem da tho matang sani bhai ke jingle jingkam jongki Hakata ka shiti ba Dr. Mukul ula tho sha ulat ula pen isaw tani ki daw ki blai lam shakani ki jinge ki pa ba West Garo Hills District ki bakin thum ya ki jing dawa jing ki seng bhalang ban khanglat ki briu bam de riulum ban shim benta kom ki kirtong ha ka election shaka yang darbar Garo Hills Autonomous District Council GHADC ka jing pen mi hukum jong si CMGHADC ban ailat ki bam de riulum ban yakun ha ka election GHADC Kajing penbena ban penlong election GHADC bat kajing penlong jinglang jong MLA barim hapul bari kabalaya lamsha kajingyal ki pat ba. Dr. Mukul ula kentu bat ai jingmut ya ulat da kaboong datang ka Commission of Enquiry kabala ban wat lut ya kidaw ki balaya lamsha kajing ki pat ba kabala shim ki men siembrio bat kabalawan ra e kajing julor kajing don jing em hakibabun kisnong kitaw kamtam hanong ba tura. Ulo angru datang ka Commission of Enquiry kabala ban wan ra ya kasuk kasan hakilum garo.
I had the privilege and honor to have an audience with the Honorable Governor today, and I have sought an audience as you are all aware about the prevailing situation in the western part of the state across all the districts of Garo Hills, and all the developments that have unfolded post your declaration of election on the run-up for election to the Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, and the overall prevailing situation. Now, I have also shared with all of you that as the situation unfolded, which led to uncontrolled violence and various other challenges vis-a-vis the law and order situation in the districts of Garo Hills. I have spoken to the Honorable Chief Minister a number of times and engaged in discussion as to how we must all put our heads together to see that the collective effort is seen for restoration of normalcy and harmony, peace and harmony, and also to put our heads together to resolve the core issue which has ultimately culminated into that kind of situation, a charged environment, then eventual scenario that we have all witnessed as a fallout of whatever happened. Now, having engaged on a number of occasions, now there are two things that is before us. One was, of course, the issue of the term of the district council. Obviously, the term of the district council as elected as per the mandate of the constitution, read 62 of the Constitution of India, is for 5 years. And the term of the then district council house ended by 18th of March. Today we are on 21st. Therefore, there was a situation where there was a need to take a decision. The decision is to also proceed ahead with the election. Elections were postponed, but naturally elections will have to be held. Now, under what type of conditions the elections will be held was the issue to discuss. And another part is now that the election cannot be held within that duration of the validity of the house of the district council, read Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, therefore to invoke the provision of the 6th Schedule of the Constitution of India to extend the term, which is provided as per the provision of the 6th Schedule of the Constitution for extension for a period of 6 months at a point of time. This was done by the government because it was needed. But at the same time, the most important core issue was, before we proceed ahead with the election, the issue which was to be resolved must be discussed upon, and a clear stand and the action thereof must be demonstrated, because we must not shy away from the fact and the ground reality that we cannot hold the election until and unless the particular issue which was required to be resolved is resolved. In other words, the demand of the people of Garoids, our Garo community, has been very loud and clear and very assertive that other than the tribals, no non-tribal should be eligible to contest in the district council election in the Garoids Autonomous District Council. In other words, to bar anybody other than the scheduled tribe from contesting in election for GHTC. And this issue has been discussed, and it is only necessary for everybody to come together. Everybody to come together. And in the process, I have also suggested to the Honorable Chief Minister that call all concerned, engage in discussion with all the stakeholders, and particularly call all the elected members of the Garoids Autonomous District Council. Discuss with them, take everybody on board, and see that this particular issue, which needs to be resolved, is completed. I am made to understand, because I have been in engagement, I have been trying to follow up the developments, and we have reasons to believe, then keeping in mind the adequate protection that is available under the relevant paras of the section of the Constitution of India, this can be done. And therefore, this is one part which we have agreed to give fruition to as per the demand of our people. And the whole responsibility now will be automatically vested on the members of the district council, who should take a call through a process of legislation in the house. Now, process of legislation can be to give effect to the kind of provision in the rule through a resolution, and that is to be seen as the house decide on their collective wisdom. I will not indicate anything which can be considered as premature, because we cannot take house for granted. Any proceeding of the house will be determined after the proceeding is over, and therefore we only hope that everybody will come together. I am also making appeal to all the MLAs of MDCs of Garoids Autonomous District Council to see that the political differences do not come in as a hurdle, as an obstacle, while this crucial issue is going to be resolved. It must be seen as a collective resolve, and it must be also demonstrated by them as a decision which is unanimous, the larger good of the people and the state as a whole. Now, while this expectation of resolving this issue is from the positive perspective, I see a possibility to give effect to this demand of the people. But at the same time, there is also concern about the overall handling of the situation, particularly in respect to the authorities engaging in going after the leaders who have been perceived to have been, as per the available, whatever inputs are available with the legal authority, enforcement authorities. There is a perception. There is a perception which is circulated. Or in other words, I would say that the circulation of narrative which is creating a general perception that law enforcement authorities are carrying out arrests in random and indiscriminate manner without proper verification of facts or involvement. Such perceived action can lead to miscarriage of justice, could aggravate also the situation or otherwise the public unrest, and the risk of implicating innocent persons while the real culprits may remain unidentified. It is very important that arrests met merely to demonstrate action or to diffuse immediate pressure may result in deterioration of the law and order situation, and rather than restoring the trust and confidence. Every action of the authorities must be seen as being done on good faith, with no bias, but in a transparent manner, in the with the sole intent of ensuring administration of justice in the right earnest, without any favor or ill will. Therefore, I will be taking up this issue with the Chief Minister again. I personally feel, after having consulted with my other colleagues, that it is necessary to have an independent inquiry by invoking the provision of the law under the Commission of Enquiry Act 1952. Let there be a Commission of Enquiry, which will go into the details about the genesis, etc., and which can be seen as a sincere effort of the government, without any bias, or in other words, to also see that, because how the overall unrest and violence unfolded, it is very important for proper investigation to collect the kind of inputs which is consistent with the actual incidents at the ground zero, and therefore leaving no room for any negative narrative which can generate different perception, to create that kind of overall perception that the authorities are taking advantage of the situation to settle some personal scores, or etc. There can be all kinds of narrative which can be circulated, and this is something which is actually happening. So the government must take cognizance of these things, and therefore I personally feel that we should discuss this approach. And we have also seen from the past experiences that any such inquiry under the mandate of the relevant law does give us space to instill trust and confidence amongst people. Then it will be seen as something which is being done with the honest intention to really look at the causes and the measures required as per the law to take cognizance of any lapses or omission or commission from all sides, including from the sides of the authorities. It cannot be one-sided. Therefore, I have submitted a memorandum to Honorable Governor today, the copy of which I will be sharing with you, and that itself will be self-explanatory.
Doctor, in fact, BJP also.
Now, as I have said, I have spoken to all the MDCs. I am speaking to my MDCs. I have spoken to my MDCs. Extraordinary situation requires extraordinary decision. This is needed at this juncture, because if you may ask now, why during your time this effort to amend these rules were not put? You are not asking, so I will not reply. But today, what I'm saying is that can the election to Garhwal's Autonomous District Council be held without amending this existing rule, without complying to the demand of the people? No. So therefore, we would like to see that, okay, there's a conducive environment created for a mutual coexistence of our people across communities, that our people in future can live in harmony, progress and prosper in harmony. We share the same desire of ensuring that our state progress and prosper in a manner that we all desire, so that we leave behind a prosperous, progressive and peaceful state for our generations next.
So traditionally,
There were no problems.
Somebody else's narrative, but then what is the intent that we have demonstrated? What is the intent? Is it a time to beat around the bush and not allow things what is to be happen to happen? Friends, it's not the time when we should be engaging in those kind of narratives. No. What do people expect from us? People expect that we demonstrate sense of responsibility and commitment to resolve issue. You see, our priority is not to shift from the issue. The moment you start pointing finger towards the government, then you'll be shifting the priority. So there is no space for Mukul Sangma to play this to the gallery and shift the priority. I don't have. See, you have to understand one important thing. Is it the time to play to the gallery? For any politician for that matter. Is it the time? No. If anybody is doing so, I will advise him not to do so. Yes.
Referring to your
This particular decision, which is required to be taken collectively by all the elected MDCs of Khaborjylla. Now, it is necessary and it is incumbent upon me and my team, my colleagues and my political party, that we engage with our MDCs and give them the honors of responsibility to put their hands together in adopting whatever resolutions are required, whatever procedures are required to be taken collectively as the elected MDCs of the current House of the Girls of Donbosco District Council. So it is an extraordinary situation which is considered as needed by us, and without that we would be seen as somebody who would be acting as a stumbling block. So no one, not even a single MDC elected by the people, must be seen as a stumbling block. I would like to appeal to all the MDCs once again, therefore, to come together and see that they unanimously take a decision in the House, in the District Council, so that it will be on record. I have also looked at his press briefing, irrespective of other contents, but I will only say that I think respectfully I will say that he also has not done his homework well, because if you go through by his statements, it seems to be more reactionary than actual sincere attempt to address the concern and issues. And in fact, I have made it abundantly clear here that it cannot be ruled out whether there was plot and conspiracy hatched by vested interests or any other forces, external forces, inimical to the national interests. Therefore, this whole the result from the side of the government to go for an exhaustive inquiry can be possible with what we are suggesting. There are many ways of unearthing the truth and finding the truth, and that will definitely, as I have said, ultimately prevent from any scope or chances from perversion of justice.
Do you say that the failure of law and order in
These aspects, the pros and cons, because what I'm trying to say to everybody is that today I'm not trying to point finger at anybody at this juncture, because there are two important things. One is to restore normalcy, instill confidence and trust, and this can happen when the issue, which is very highly sensitive in nature, is addressed and resolved once for all. Okay. After that, this proposal that I am proposing will provide us all clarity in a transparent manner as to where was the lapses, where were the commission and omission, where were the plots or conspiracy, if any, coming from, or whether there has been any attempt to, further add fuel on fire. All kinds of things can come. So our resolve today is to see that normalcy as being restored. I would like to gratefully, sincerely thank all our senior citizens and leaders of different faith, particularly the church leaders who have put all their efforts together collectively to reach out to all agitating minds and contribute to the extent possible for restoration of normalcy and the needed peace and harmony. And we must all contribute to this. That's why once again I am again appealing to all the elected MDCs of Garhwils. We have now 28. Unfortunately, we have lost one of our MDCs who represented Samanda, but we have 20. All the 28 MDCs must, in unison, take a collective resolve and decision to see that a demand which is need to be fulfilled must be given fruition.
So